We're back with more mock drafts brought to you by Crestron, though today we're just going to do one. John Schmeelk and Paul Dottino, and that's because it's a 3-round mock draft from friend of the program, Trevor Sikkema, who does draft content over at Pro Football Focus. And Paul, the first-round pick is one we've heard a lot about already, Rome Odunze to the Giants at number 6. Big body wide receiver, can get open down the field. But more importantly, and this is what I want to focus on for this particular segment on Odunze, we haven't talked about him much in these mock drafts. This guy is not a diva wide receiver. Played with broken ribs last year. We know the story about him staying on the field at the combine late just to try to get a better 3-cone time. He's tough. He's rugged. He'll block. He checks every box from an intangible standpoint.
He is a gamer who is, by all accounts, a tremendous teammate. Everybody who knows him through his college seasons just said he could not do enough for every one of the other guys in that locker room and also in the community too. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily impact the X's and the O's, but it's clear here that the Giants are looking for smart players and guys who really melt into the system.
Smart, tough, dependable. He checks every one of those boxes. And, the 1,500-plus receiving yards don't hurt either. Second-round pick for the Giants. Trevor has them selecting T'Vondre Sweat, defensive tackle out of Texas. Maybe the Giants just want somebody bigger than Dexter Lawrence in their locker room. Well, they found someone in T'Vondre Sweat. He might be bigger than anyone in the Giants locker room, weighed in at 366 pounds at the NFL Combine. This guy is a massive plugger and a run stopper.
Yeah, at over 6'4", basically he can't be moved. It's just that simple. Try to block him with one guy. You can't do it because there's too much power and beef there and size and width. But you're not going to get a lot of tracking down sideline to sideline with him. He was the Outland Trophy winner, which means he was the best offensive or defensive lineman in college this past year. But he is your typical plugger, and man, will he plug. Like I said, you're not going to be able to get him out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much pass rushing it at him based on that size, but if you want a guy to stop the run, that's a big priority for the Giants to stop the run. Not a bad guy to put next to Dexter
He's a
Lawrence
big
inside.
detour is what he is.
Yes, and how can he manage his weight? Because at the Senior Bowl, he didn't weigh in. Word has it that because he was well over that 366. So how can he manage that weight, too, is something to kind of keep an eye on. And then finally, in the third round, they have the Giants selecting a safety corner hybrid in Javon Bullard. Just under 200 pounds, ran a 4.47 40-yard dash, Paul. He can play deep safety. He can also cover man-on-man in the slot. He's out of Georgia. Very good football player.
A little bit over 5'11", but the thing with him is the versatility. You already mentioned that, John. He has played in zone coverages. He's played in man coverages. He's got tremendous tackling ability. Once he gets his hands on you, you do not get away. He's got very good range. You mentioned the speed. Great program. What's there not to like? He'll be one of the highest safeties taken in the draft, John. I don't think there's any much doubt about that.
Yeah, if he's there in round 3, I think that's a steal.
I think so,
I think
too.
he's a guy that could be gone even at the end of round 2. So if he could be there in round 3, I think that'd be a good pick for the Giants. You still have some holes in the secondary trying to fill them at both corner and safety. He could help maybe fill in both of those spots for the Giants in the draft. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmeelk. That's another look at the latest mock drafts brought to you by Crestron.